What's close to normal, Caleb?
Nothing much. What are we getting into?
Well, we're on a mission today. Right now, we're at Smitty's Tap House. But we've acquired something new to add to the fleet. And we're taking her home. We like her. She's pretty. She purrs. But we've not actually ridden it yet. That's crazy, isn't it? It's the first time I've ever bought something that I've never drove.
Well, you don't have to. You're almost at the age
That I don't even have to drive.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to ever ride it. It's yours.
Well, hey, I like that concept. Less to clean up. But we're checking out this place and going home. Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Would you like to introduce our guest for the day?
Yes, this is the man who took me off a path of doom and destruction, helped form me into a citizen such that I am, and made me be all responsible for the last 25 years. We refer to him as the Grand Poobah.
Hello, Poobah.
Hey, hello.
Do you have any words of wisdom or anything for the audience?
Hello, acolytes.
But anyway, that's what we're doing. It's a great day, and we're headed back, and we're going to show you what we got.
What's going on, Average Joe?
Daddy likes a lot. This is our new baby, 2024 CanAM Renegade 1000 Xmr R. Now the only thing, this is brand new, has 0.6 of an hour. The only thing that we've had done is we had the dealer install the rad to relocate kit, which was it's about an $800 labor parts type thing, but everything we had studied was get this done, keeps mud out of it. So other than that, she's bone stock. We're in a break-in period, and we're going to start a comparison between this and our 2024 1000 XP high lifter. Of course, they're two different class of machines, but both are 1000cc premier machines. We'll be doing a 1-year review on the Sportsman here shortly. In about a month, we'll have had it for a year. Then we're going to do our initial on this one. So far, wow. Yeah, this is going to be a lot different, and then eventually we'll be doing some small changes on it. But right now we're just going to enjoy it like it is, like CanAM meant for it to be, and then we'll start making some small changes and kind of grow into it. This is our first CanAM machine. We had 6 Polarises, and this is our first break from Polaris. So it's new to us. Fortunately, we got a lot of friends that are well-versed, very talented people with maintenance and modifications, so we're going to be leaning on their knowledge as we kind of grow with this machine. But hang in there with us, and if you like reviews, let us know, comment. We got thick skin at Average J's because we want to make something that you'll enjoy and share a part of our life that means so much to us. And hang in there.
Jam not loose. Pull that.
All right, we've been riding around a little bit. We're starting to lose our light. Plus, we're trying to get a decent break in on this thing, so we're letting it get some heating and cooling cycles. But I wanted to, okay, I'm a Polaris owner. I'm a Polaris guy. But this is how much I was able to expose in just a handful of minutes with no tools. Battery, right here. Brake fluid reservoir, right here. Airbox, right here. This whole cowling comes off very, very easily. So you don't have to get out wrenches or drive sets to do that. I love that. Clutch box. No need to remove the footrest. Everything is out in the open. Thank God for that. I will say this, the XP, you got to remove the right rear wheel, all that kind of stuff. Spark plug right here by a panel that pops off by hand. Oil fill right here. Air filter here. You don't need a tool to pull the cover. Now, I do understand these covers may not be the very best, but they make some nice billet aftermarket parts pretty cheap to replace it. A lot of people replace this, go with a little bit taller shifter. I do love the fact that it shifts so easy. The pattern's very smooth, everything locks. Fuel filler, and a lot of people like to replace these. No big deal, but a lot of your basic maintenance items that you need to check, in 2.5 minutes, you're down to where you can get to a lot of stuff. I will say this, you cannot do that on the Sportsman, not this quickly. The only drawback I've seen so far, like spark plug change, no big deal, but if you do your own maintenance, these little things add up. Right here's the plug for the cylinder out in the open, not hard to get to. Now on this side, it's on the opposite side over here, you would have to run these bolts out and pull this heat shield, but it's, I mean, based on what I'm seeing, it wouldn't be a bad job to drop that shield, change your plugs. So far, front diff, really easy to access. Service plug right here, out in the open, for God's sakes. That is wonderful. Rear diff, out in the open. Service plug, drain from the bottom. I'm seeing a lot of things that I know are painful for 1000 XP owners, the high lifters, and the new Mud Edition, based on what I've seen, there's really no change except they removed the high lifter branding. So thus far, what little bit I've been able to ride it, I'm going to give an honest review. No matter what, I'll always be honest. This serviceability, I mean rideability, they're two different machines, but serviceability, God, I hate to say it, but they're just yards ahead of Polaris on their bigger, higher performance machines. The Rad Relocate opens up all kinds of room in here to service. If you ever had to pull the winch, everything's right there. Of course, the steel cable, Jesus, CanAM, what's up with that? Of course, we'll change that to synthetic. I've already experienced one little drawback on the Rad Relocate. When the cooling fan kicks on, you know she's warm because you become warm with her. Much better shocks. Of course, this is not a trail unit, it's a mud unit. You can feel the weight in the back end, the fuel tank's back here, the rear diff's back here. There's a lot, the battery's sitting back here, so when it leaves the ground, the tail has a tendency to feel heavy. But it's a mud rig. It's not made to jump off the side of hills, but buddy, she does accelerate. Like I said, there's never going to be a let's check performance comparison. They're two different machines. But my goodness, when it comes to oil changes, diff services, air filter changes, plug changes, accessing your winch to change a broken winch rope, this is far better designed to maintain, or to be a maintainer, than what I've seen on the Polaris machines thus far. Now it is not as smooth. I will say that the 1000 XP, and I'm pretty sure the 1000Ss, the scramblers and all, this one you feel the engine pulses a lot more. The seat is way lighter than the high lifter, but the seat is nowhere near as comfortable as the high lifter. There is a lot of heavy, dense foam on it, so it is a Cadillac ride, and that probably absorbs some of the engine vibe that I feel on this one. Now, I will tell you this, and anybody that owns one or has owned one, you get that high lifter seat wet and that foam full of water, that seat probably goes to weighing about 40 pounds. It will float. Matter of fact, it'll float down a river and get away from you. Speaking from experience on that, but it is very heavy, extremely heavy. Aftermarket guys, make a seat to put on our high lifters that's not so dang heavy when it gets wet. Factory snorkel, I do stupid from time to time. Honestly, if you look at where this is setting on 30-inch tires compared to where my high lifter extensions are setting on 30-inch tires, I don't see a need for a bunch of riser. I mean, if you've reached this level of dumb, from there all the way down there, well, you've earned that dumb. I will tell you this, it will be a hell of a lot easier to clean the induction system, pull plugs, change oil, to do everything you need to do to undumb this machine compared to the high lifter. Once again, speaking from experience. So far, I see engineering thought in this that Polaris has just not caught up with. But at the same time, there's some quality aspects to the Polaris machines, the smoothness, that I do appreciate. I'm going to the dark side just a little bit. Now on my side-by-sides, I'm still a Polaris guy. I may try something a little different in the future, but for right now, I think I'm pretty happy saying, hey, this is the premium mud machine. I can live with that. My XP high lifter, it's going to be not as fast, not as responsive, but more comfortable in the long run. I can tell already, if I was to climb on these machines and we were just going straight to mud, I like this one. I like this one. But if we were going to do a bunch of trail in between and be gone for hours, I'm still leaning toward the high lifter as far as comfort and smoothness. Of course, these cryptid tires, I don't care for them. We will change these. That was one thing on the Polaris, I will say. The high lifter, getting rid of those ridiculously heavy and clunky Outlaws and putting a lighter set of tires on it was an amazing difference. Now I'm sure everybody's got their brand. I threw a set of ITP Mudlight XXLs on the Polaris, and it was a completely different machine. It felt lighter, it felt more nimble. Immediately a major improvement, not just because I bought the tires, actual improvement. This one, the Cryptids are a hell of a lot better than the Outlaws as far as a stock tire. The weight, I think these are roughly 43 pounds. The Outlaws were 48. And the Mud Light XXLs in the same sizes were 37. When you start pulling 40 pounds off of a rig like this, that's a high percentage. It makes a big difference in the way they feel and the way they handle. But overall, I just got to say, Polaris, get in the game, guys. I own 5 Polaris machines, and I just left you in the quad world, and it was the right thing to do for mud. I hope you upgrade something. I hope you make some changes. But my basic opinion right now of the big XP machines are they threw a lot of engine, a lot of transmission into a 570 frame and made it overly complex to service and maintain the machine. These guys, they're out. They're out ahead of you. And you're going to have to do something. I mean, assuming you want to sell a bunch of four-wheelers. If Polaris does a redesign and gets a machine into this class that the access is this quick, well, hell, I'll come back. Deb's taking it out and wheeling it around a little. We're gonna let it heat cycle. We're gonna put a little bit of time on her where she can be a happy girl.
Thinking all week, about cruising all night. Loading up the cooler cause we ready to slide. Crank up the music, turn down the static. Hold my beer, it's about to get drastic. Me and my girl about to get it on. We'll be cruising and grooving to the break of dawn. Redneck limos with speakers and whips. Big ass tires with kung fu grip.